I am working on my book, which is about the history of mental health policies in the 1960s and 70s in the US. And it's important to me because we normally think about mental health policy from the perspective of politicians or policymakers, and it's not often from the perspective of the people who receive healthcare. And so my book studies how the Mexican American experience during a massive mental health reform and how they imagine different forms of mental health care that sometimes contrasted with the state's vision. Yeah, there are so many teachers, but if I had to choose three, I would choose one of my mentors from grad school, Professor Lori Flores from Stony Brook, because she introduced me to the field of Latinx Studies, and she has always been guiding me on how to become a professor and how to teach my students. The second professor would be Nancy Toms from Stony Brook, who was my dissertation advisor. And she just taught me that being a professor is not only in the classroom, but it's outside the classroom. And the third would be Andres Rios Molina from UNAM, who was my thesis advisor in undergrad. And he introduced me to the field of history of psychiatry and psychology. And he's the first professor who took me to the archives, so he really sparked the passion that I feel for the work I do. My favorite class so far has been traditional medicine in the Americas, which is about different forms of healing, how people have continued with their own healing practices in addition to the practices that the state offers, and all the politics that are involved with medicine, healing, etc. And I am looking forward to teach the class on disability politics in the Americas next semester. It will be a new class, and I am excited about it because I have studied intellectual disability in my own work, but I have never expanded that to other forms of disability and thinking about it as an analytical category. So I'm excited to teach it, but also learn more and expand my perspective at the same time. Before I finished my undergrad major in history, I studied culinary arts, and I worked in a catering business for film students for a while.